Hurry, hurry!
Welcome to Mom Cave Live, where we may have lost our minds, but we haven't lost our senses of humor yet. I'm Jen from Mom Cave, and my guest to hang out with us tonight is Amanda, who is at The Dude Mom. Hey, Amanda.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So The Dude Mom makes me assume that you have dudes as opposed to dudettes in your life. Is that it?
That is accurate, but funny story. I have had people email me and do little pitches or something. They're like, "Oh, hey, dude," using that as my name.
Right.
And I even had somebody once think that I was a dude who was a mom. So to clarify, I am not a dude. I am a mom.
You are a mom.
To dudes, yes.
Right. But you did tell me you're from California originally, so that's very dude.
Yeah, I am from California.
Cool. So I heard about your book, and I thought that would be fun to talk about. So everybody, Amanda has a book, which I could probably put on the screen at some point, but we'll get to that. And it's on Amazon, of course, where all the books are. And tell us about the book. What's it called and what's in it?
It's 50 Things to Do in Baby's First Year. And it is a book that is written more, not from the 50 milestones that you need to cover as a parent or anything. It's more about keeping your sanity as a mom and 50 things that you should do to maintain yourself and your humanity, because I don't know about the rest of you guys, but that my early mothering days nearly snatched the humanity away from me. So, keeping yourself mentally, physically, emotionally attached to your partner, managing all of the other relationships that having a baby throws into disarray at times. And really just focusing on being your best self while also being the best mom that you can be, but tons of humor thrown in, some, funny illustrations, not done by me, done by an illustrator.
Nice.
And just a lot of humor, little side stories, anecdotes, stuff like that. So,
well, that's what we're all about here on Mom Cave. It's about the humor, because that's really the way that I deal with stuff. Otherwise,
I'm not laughing, I'm crying.
Right. You're a little further down this parenting road than I am. So how old are your children?
Yeah, two of them, I guess, can't be classified as children anymore because I have a 21-year-old, an 18-year-old, and a 15-year-old now.
Wow.
So, yeah, my 18-year-old is a senior this year. I'm dying.
Congrats.
And my 15-year-old's a freshman. My 21-year-old is in college. So.
Okay, side note, you look amazing to have children so I don't know, if you had them when you were 10, but you look great.
I did it. Sunscreen.
It's all about the sunscreen. Yeah.
I consider myself an indoors woman. So,
I like that.
I don't get a lot of sun exposure.
Nice. Well, it keeps you young. I just actually made a video this week for a brand. I won't say who it is because the video is not out yet, but they do UV protective stuff. And the joke was I don't want to dress like Morticia Adams at the beach, because that is how I end up dressing. Because I'm let's fun. Anyway,
no wrinkles.
No, anything to stop the wrinkles and the age spots.
Yeah.
I had my kids a little later. I have my kids in my mid-30s, so they're still youngins, pretty much. I've got a 7-year-old and a 12-year-old. But I love the fact that you have this book about the 50 things that every parent should do the first year that they are a parent, and that you've kind of come out the other end. So whatever the advice was, it must be pretty good because
I survived.
You survived. Your kids survived. They grew up.
Yeah.
You're still here. You're still laughing, and you look fat. So I think it's good advice.
I would say, and I wrote this book in 2019, literally right before the pandemic happened. My book came out on December 31st of 2019.
Wow.
Which was the most random date. And the publisher came at that date. I was like, who's going to be paying attention to my baby book on New Year's Eve?
Right,
but,
right.
we had this plan about, I had book like conversations set up at different bookstores, like in the DC area and all that kind of stuff. And then the global pandemic came along and I never did a single book signing. I had my book release party. Like I had like a launch party in January of 2020. And, you know, that was great. It was, you know, lots of people came out, whatever. And that was like the last time I saw anybody in person for the
for a long time.
So, but I will say that at that time, my kids were older. So I feel like when I wrote that book, I actually wrote that book at an AU basketball tournament in Florida. Yes,
Wow.
They were like, the deadlines were super tight. And they were like, well, you know, you want to publish the book, we have to have it done at this time. So I remember saying like, well, I have this vacation plan. And they're like, we really don't care. And so I was like, well, I can do this. I'm going to go to Florida and I'll watch basketball tournaments. I'll take my laptop. I'll sit beside the swimming pool while the kids are swimming and doing all their thing. And I'm writing and I am sweating balls, like drenched. I wanted to get in the pool so badly. I've never been so hot in my life. But I got it done. And I feel like I wrote it at a time. Like I feel like I could not have written this book when my kids were toddlers, when they were babies for sure, when they were toddlers. Like I had to go through it and sort of get far enough removed from like the trauma of early parenting to sort of move into a space where I could be like, well, here's what I wish I would have done. And here are the things that I think like are realistic because, you know, we all read all these things about like, oh, you know, you have to put your mental health and like do all this. And I'm like, sure, we all know those things, but at the same time, it's like actually doing that in the midst of having like a newborn and a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old, like it's hard. So I really wanted to just focus on things that like you could do and they're not, you know, have a cookie, you know, nothing that's like groundbreaking.
Wait. Nobody had to tell me to have a cookie the first year my baby was born or ever before or after that. No,
have the cookies.
I already know about half the cookie. Like that's my mantra.
And then thinking like, you know, I remember reading these things. I nursed all of my kids. So I remember, you know, oh, have a healthy snack while you're nursing. Like, why do I want to have a healthy snack? I mean, I get it, but also I'd rather have a chocolate chip cookie. It's the only time the kid's not paying attention to me and trying to like bat the food out of my hand. I'm enjoying my cookie. And I'm sorry if that means that the milk tastes like chocolate. I mean, maybe that's probably,
they probably love
the baby.
Yeah,
for sure.
You know, and if your baby is still at an age where they are not like eating cookies themselves yet, then take advantage of that and have a cookie because as soon as they start eating the real food, like your food's always cold and they always want whatever you have.
Right. Yes. I always would say my food's always wet because
that's the worst.
I know they want to taste it and then they're like, oh, and they put it back and I'm like, well.
No. That's something nobody told me about. There was so much swapped saliva and not in the making of the baby afterwards, right? Just everywhere.
It's not the fun kind.
No, not fun swapping of saliva at all. What's one of the surprising things in the 50 things people should do?
Oh, you caught me there because I don't know. I don't think anything is really surprising. I would say it's more things that you don't necessarily think about. Like one of the tips is about being upfront with your in-laws about the relationship that, you know, you want to have with your new family. And I think that's a really hard thing and something people don't really think about when, you know, it's like, oh, everybody's happy the baby's coming, but like, do you want your in-laws in the birthing room with you? Like, you need to have that discussion in advance if you don't, because otherwise, you know, and like really talking through how, and not just like your in-laws, but like talking to your partner about why that may or may not be something you want. I mean, some people want that, like it's a party and everybody can come, but like for me, I was like, don't know. Like,
no,
I don't need an audience for this.
You never know how it's going to go. No. And but different families do things so differently. And sometimes it doesn't become apparent. That was like a little pun there. It doesn't become apparent until you are a parent that your spouse's family is totally weird and different. I guess, or in my case, my family's totally weird. And everyone, you know, it's just different. So that's true.
I think you don't think about that stuff, you know, before you have your first baby. And then you're like, everybody's like, you talk about what kind of a parent you want to be. Well, sure, but you don't talk about what kind of a parent you want what kind of a grandparent you want your in-laws to be, or your own parents to be.
That's true.
The like just thinking through some of those things and like trying to maintain those relationships because, you're high emotion at that time, your hormones are all out of whack, and like, you're crying and you're yelling and you're happy and you're sad and like all that stuff. And then pairing it with the fact that you have all these other interpersonal relationships going on at the same time.
To figure out.
Yeah.
Totally. Social media is full of young, gorgeous women giving makeup tutorials. I guarantee you they've never tried putting their face on with a baby on one boob and another kid shooting Nerf guns at them. Moms want to look great too, but we just don't have the time or the energy to put all that effort into it. Meet Mommy Makeup. Yep, it's a thing. Mommy Makeup's motto is clean beauty for busy women. Take advantage of their free color consultation program. Send in your selfie and which products interest you, and Mommy Makeup will reply back with shade suggestions and a $10 gift card to use towards your order. mommymakeup.com/free color consultation. Promo code MomCave for 20% off your first order. Start your mommy makeup journey today. Or as soon as the kids go to bed. One of the ones in there that I really like is put yourself in, I don't know how you phrased it, but put yourself in the picture. Make sure that you're in the picture, because we take so many pictures of our babies and then pictures of our babies with other people. And then sometimes we're not in the pictures years later. There's not that many.
Yeah. And I'm still sort of guilty of that because I also owned a photography business. So I'm always one who's like, give me the camera because you're not doing it right. Like, do you want the pictures to be good?
I understand that totally. You need control there.
Right. So I have to make an effort to get myself in pictures with my kids and just even without my kids taking pictures.
Yeah.
I think like the birth of Instagram really helped with that. So
I feel like it kind of hurt me in because now I'm like, oh, if I take this picture, it's not going to look good. Like the pictures on Instagram, or, I look so awful. There's no way I'm putting this picture on Instagram. Mm-hmm. So why even take it? But it's not just about that.
No. Yeah. And not posting every picture, but like making sure, I mean, at this point, I feel like I'm to the point where not just actually being in the picture, but like printing the pictures. Because how I looking back now, I don't think I've printed pictures for the last 5 to 7 years. So all the pictures I have of my kids, they're little and I'm younger, which no problem there. Right. But I haven't printed a picture recently, and I discovered we recently remodeled our basement, and so I'm down like going through all the photos, and I'm like, there's not a single picture from like high school from any of my kids that's printed. They're like on my computer and they're on Instagram and they're on Facebook, but like I don't have a physical copy of any of these pictures. So and I have tons of these photo albums and all that filled with pictures of my kids and very few pictures of me. But from when they're little. So
yeah, it's a different way than when we were growing up. Because of the technology, but this is not sponsored at all, but I have a solution.
Okay.
I have an app on my phone. It's called Chatbooks. I don't know.
Yeah.
So what you can do is like, how you can put a heart, a favorite of a picture, like it pulls you just as you're, going about your daily life and you take pictures and you're like, that one's really good. I'm going to favorite that one. And then as soon as it gets enough to print in one of these little books, they just charge you $9.99 or whatever it is, I forget. It's not a lot. And they send you the book of all of your favorites. And so like we have all these little books now, and at least that way, like I get a physical copy of a picture. That's the only way. Because if I had to do it and like pick it and then go to Walgreens and all, I wouldn't do it.
Right. Yeah.
So that's cool.
Clearly I'm not doing that.
Clearly, but that wasn't a commercial or anything, I swear.
But I have used Chatbooks before. I think like when it first came out, I did like a sponsored thing with them, and I remember not favoriting, but setting it up in a certain way where like after I got to a certain number of pictures, just printed them, and it is like the most random array of photos.
Right, you have to.
what was I thinking?
Yeah, because who knows? Like, think of all the things we take photos of,
Right,
our parking space, so we remember it at the airport or whatever. And then you get a book full of those. We Mommy in Color TV is watching us, and she says, "Hello, ladies. Am I late to the party? You're never late. It's always a party. It's always a party.
Better late than never, right?
Only moms can have a party at 7:45. It's not even like, real party time. I'm talking with Amanda, who is the dude mom. I'm going to put her book in the comments. It's Baby's First Year, 50 things that every mom should do. I think it went to the comments. Maybe not. Sometimes this thing is rough. If it doesn't show up in the comments, you all let me know and I'll deal with that after we're done and I will put it there. So, okay. What about, are there any of the 50 things in the book? Are there any that people have agreed with you or said like, no, that's a bad idea?
No one ever disagrees with me. What? No.
Aren't you lucky? Wait, are you married?
Right. Yeah, he doesn't disagree either. That's
where
why
did
I'm
you
still married.
Oh, see, I have an arguer. I have a debater. He loves it's the whole like devil's advocate thing. That's
No, my husband's pretty chill, but no, I would say I don't think anybody has specifically disagreed. The book was very well received, so I get a lot of feedback like, oh, that's I would like unexpected things because people pick up the book and just assume that it's going to be like 50 tips or 50 things that you have to do with a baby, like learn how to diaper. I don't know. I can't even think like those type of things. But so I haven't gotten, I don't know. I don't read the comments. So maybe people
probably a good thing.
Right. People just hate it. I have a ton of negative feedback and I have put it out of my mind and it's amazing. Everybody.
Yeah, there you go. That's how you stay positive. Totally. I just thought of one. If I was going to add to the book, I just thought of one and it's kind of weird, but I'm going to put it out there because I wish I had done this. I miss the way my babies smell so much, right? Every time I pick the baby up, no matter where, whatever, I always would like pick my child up, sniff their head. Yeah. Every single time. It was just weird.
No, I used to do that too.
The baby head smell is amazing. And every baby has their own smell, of course. So if there was a way to save the baby smell, like, I don't know, a piece of their clothing in a Ziploc that might continue smelling like them for a while. Who knows? I would do that.
Yes. I would pick my babies up and smell their neck, which wasn't always a great thing to do.
Right. But get that cheese smell.
Yeah. Even when I got that, it was still better than what I get now at 15, 18, and 21. If I was to smell any part of their body, even as it passes me.
I mean, I'm learning that mine's only 12. I don't want to embarrass them or anything, but holy moly. And then they resist showering.
Yeah.
Speaking of
dudes, I don't want to shower tonight.
Dude. Well, you got to, dude. I'm making you
my ears are burning when you walk by. You must take a shower. It is not optional.
When ears that are of a different sense entirely are burning, as opposed to the nose, something's up.
Yes. So it's so pungent that it's coming out.
That's pretty pungent.
Yeah.
Nice. Mommy in Color TV says she was not a fan of the baby smell. Wow. There must be a study on this. We need to MRI your brain or something. Because I feel like it's an evolutionary thing that we want to smell babies and you don't. So let's see why. I would like to know. Let's do a study. Amanda, tell everybody all the places they can find you on the internet.
All over the internet, I'm the Dude Mom, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. But don't be, so my TikTok account now is pretty quiet because when 2020 was happening and everybody's at home, I did a bunch of dancing videos with my kids. They have since entirely moved away from that experience and will not have anything to do with me dancing in them. But even I was having a blast with that, but somehow I put 2 videos of my dogs that went viral on TikTok and I was like, well, that's great because I'm not a dog account. So I
Right.
have basically like 3 videos. There's 2 that were like crazy. And then, I tried to make some other ones, but my dogs they don't cooperate. They're literally like, just like my kids. They don't want anything to do with me or my camera in their face. They don't do any funny things that other dogs do. It was just these 2 particular videos, and all these people followed me. And I was like, well, you're going to be sad because
I'm not a dog.
I'm not a dog person TikToker. So
I don't know. TikTok's funny that way. Once it thinks you're something, then you are that. My most viral video on TikTok was one where I was sort of making fun of certain dads that I know and the way that they like don't step up.
Oh, okay.
And so that went viral. And so all of a sudden, like my TikTok, everyone that follows me is looking for things about how terrible men are and how terrible dads are.
Yeah.
And that's really not like I'm married, happily married for the most part. He's great. So they're like looking for like a single mom who's all like empowered. And I'm like, well, I can just say from what I've observed.
Right.
That's TikTok. I support the single moms. Anyway,
is it bad?
Who knows?
Mine?
I don't know.
You can hear me, right? And
I
thank
can hear
you,
Amanda. And yeah, Mommy in Color is a huge fan of yours, Amanda. You have a fan. You. Awesome.
I'm telling my kids because they think I'm a dork. So
tell them, because no matter what you do, your kids will always think you're a dork. That's what parenting is. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. You guys go check out the Dude Mom on all the places and check out the book, which I will put in the comments, of the 50 things that you should do the first year you have a kid. And I think that would be a good gift for people. So just to let it.
I second that 100%.
There you go. Okay, so thank you so much, and I hope we can do this again.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.